Hello, my sisters. It's time to sound the horns because we're feeling a little bit rambunctious in standard Hearthstone. Which means we're going to be using our Stuffy here to give itself reborn, using things like Kraken or even a pile of bones in combination with Death Growl in order to summon endless copies of. And if we can't win through these Stuffies, we are going to win through a war of attrition of slamming down as many pile of bones and reviving them over and over again through things like Death Growl. Now, for the Mulligan guide of the deck, you are going to be looking for cards like Pile of Bones or any of the other excavating cards. If you see a Rambunctious Stuffy in combination with Horn of Winter, you're probably going to want to keep both. Early game removal tools are also really good, such as Frost Strike. And finally, draw power cards such as Frozen Over are pretty good to keep. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, so Hunter might be a bad matchup for this deck, which kind of sucks. Yeah, we definitely are struggling here a little bit today, but it is what it is. Just going to pass the turn to them right away. Actually, this opener doesn't look that bad. To be fair, we do have an instant... Oh, never mind. We don't have an instant to deal with that. Okay, so we'll use our hero to get 1 charge off of it. Or 1 HP off of it. And then maybe next turn we can slam down. Okay, perfect, actually. Let's strike them straight out of the game. I'm going to go with the additional Stuffy, because that, in theory, could come up. I know some of the other options would maybe be better, but I don't know. I want to showcase the Stuffy at least once before it rotates. Grabbing the third one off the top of the deck is not what I want to see, to be honest. Yeah. So no matter what, Stuffy... It doesn't clear the board, but it does do a lot of damage. Come on. Remorseless Winter would be such a nice top deck. Oh, man. Sometimes you just call it, and sometimes when you call it, it backfires so hard. I called, I think, Corpse Explosion twice on this stream, and both times my opponent had it for some apparent reason. And I'm never lucky when I'm playing a deck that uses stuff that easily clears out of the board, but it is what it is. Okay, there's an barrel of monkeys for a barrel of fun. Bunches of bananas to go along with their monkeys. Technically, gorillas not monkeys, but they're great apes. Isn't there legitimately like a difference between the two? Alright, so we can clear out the majority of the board. Actually, we can clear out the entire board. Grabbing another Rexa. And then we might as well get rid of that, because I'd rather have one of them with Reborn. Though, I will say, Hunter is a class where having 2 without Reborn and then just, you know, slamming some other Frost spells might have been better. Alright, come on, game, something good. Well, we don't need to draw additional cards because we do still have Reborn on it. Just going to pass it back to them. Okay, they slam down Sea Snakes. Now, do they have anything else? Ah, Ziliax with the saddle up. Fun. Perfect. Not what I want to see. Okay, so you can put down Stuffy. We can buff up this other one. Actually, that is the perfect hit. That is so nice. Okay. We just go trade that in and then go face. Minimize the amount of damage we're going to be taking this turn. We have 14 HP. They have 12 HP. Sneaky Snakes isn't going to do what they need it to do unless they can randomly get us Bunny Stomper off of it. Please don't saddle up straight into... Oh, come on. Okay, we're still fine. No bunny stopper, so we're still good. That's okay. We go, and this should be GG. Bye-bye. Okay, time for a game against Warrior. It turns out Warrior didn't actually get hit hard enough in the nerfs. This opener technically doesn't look that bad. I will probably get rid of Remorseless Winter and maybe even the Rambunctious Stuffy, just because of the fact that really necessarily... Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Come on. Probably should have got rid of them both, to be honest. Pile of Bones isn't actually bad. Hell yeah would be good if, you know, Highlander cards worked how they used to, but they don't anymore, so... Actually, it wouldn't be worth it in this matchup because we don't really have any additional Plague support cards, so, you know... We're really running Helia as just a way to have some ticking damage in our opponent's deck. Basically, 6 damage per turn is actually pretty decent a lot of the times. Let's see if they will actually destroy the pile of bones or allow it to live. If they let it live, then we might have a turn for next turn. If they don't, then it is what it is, and we might be able to do something a little bit better. And they did let it live. Okay, wow. I do really wish we had access to good old Horn of the Winter. Horn of the Winter. Horn of Winter. I mean, nothing is really telling me what they're actually playing or not. I'm just going to assume they are playing a Highlander deck. We'll probably figure out in like 2 or 3 minutes, right? Alright, perfect. We're going to get some damage in. Doesn't really matter too much right now, but you know, maybe. Frozen. Okay, so we can use the Stuffy here. Use Frozen Over, draw a few cards. Oh, Horn of Winter. Actually, a perfect card here. I guess we can hero power. We might have actually wanted to use Frozen Over here to just like try to make them burn some additional cards the next turn. If I can count the cards in their hand well enough. Okay, so they're at 9 cards in hand. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a waste of... might be a waste of 2 frost spells, to be honest. Now, let's actually use this, see if we can get anything good. Come on, something cool. Oh, you know, that isn't that bad. That actually wasn't that bad of a choice. Oh, you know, let's use both coins and then use Ice Trap because I'm going to assume they probably will have a Sanitize in hand. I think they forged something earlier in the game, so should make our lives easier. Makes them skip a turn, basically. Hey, we were right. Okay, so that worked out so well for us. Okay, Yelling Yodeler is really tempting. I'm going to see what we can randomly get here this turn. Okay, I kind of want to use Yelling Yodeler, get 3 of them. I know this looks weird, but I think that honestly is the best play, and then we can draw. We burn Reno! We're no longer waiting to see if they're going to get rid of an entire wave of pile of bones. That's good. That's actually the best burn. I know technically speaking a better burn would be Bran, but this also lets us basically just showcase what we really want to do with the deck. So I'm not, you know, I'm not worried too much about it. Come on. This deck really became Pile of Bones the deck, through testing, I should say. I did have some additional, could use Pile of Bones, and then get additional minion, go face. But yeah, this deck definitely became Pile of Bones, and I did have Dead Air originally, which is why we did 2 Frost, 1 Unholy Rune. It just felt a little too much Windmore, and at least with Death Growl, we can actually use it to on other cards that aren't undead minions. So I ended up cutting it. I don't remember what I cut or added instead of it, but yeah. You probably saw the other version with Dead Air, but I'm pretty sure it never came up with that version either. Right, so we can attack, we can Excavate. We probably should have actually just slammed down the Primus, to be fair, and then absorb 9. And see, you know, here's the incidental synergy that I was talking about earlier. It turns out if you use Death Growl on a pile of bones, you'll just resummon whatever you used it on. which actually kind of makes me want to try this out maybe again with like Cage Head, and then trying to pass the Pile of Bones Death Rattle to the Blighted Boar, and then we just have an endless conga line of Blighted Boar. Though they do only revive once, which does kind of suck, but, you know, charge minion that your opponent isn't really thinking about is actually pretty good. Because there's probably pretty few players who are actually going to be playing around with that. At least, I would assume. Let's get our Wall of Bones back online. It feels so good to be able to do that. Okay, I mean, we can revive it once again. Well, actually, we don't have any excavating on board, but in a turn or two we can, right? Oh, well, actually, never mind. We can get it online this turn. Getting back the Wall of Bones. Let's see what we can randomly generate. Anything good? Moment of Truth. I guess the AoE doesn't really matter, but it is what it is. I'm gonna slam down our 2/4 just to do it. Trial by fire. These trial by bones aren't gonna last for much longer. I will say this though, technically speaking, because we've never played Rexa, we could instead revive an endless conga line of the Primus instead, which is actually kind of funny to think about. Okay, that just makes our life easier. Let's AoE these two off the board and then just go face. Buff the up, go face, real low. Okay, down to 12. No, we don't. We're missing 2 damage. That kind of sucks. Again, though, the Primus could make it work in theory. Or they're going to get Ziliax. At least they have Ziliax now and not Ziliax later. Can use the Primus. We can nom nom one of these minions. And then maybe... I mean, Blood Tap is the best bet. Alright, they're healing up to full. But can we get anything good? Let's go for Reap What You Sow, just because they'll give us another wave. There's the Frost Plague in their deck. That's good to see. Doesn't really do much, but, you know. At least... Oh, okay, look. You could probably easily substitute the Helia in the deck for something else. I don't know what you would add instead, but you could, in theory, do it, right? Let's go for a Frost spell. What can we get? Rexa is interesting, but I think we'll go for Reap What You Sow number 3. Actually, we could go for Rexa, too. That's a tough choice. Yeah, let's go for Reap number 3, because it'll get us a full board of our endless conga line of dudes, and they have no answer to this because no one's running silent. Actually, is there even a silence in the game that would be worth it right now to run instead? Okay, we can slam down the Stuffy. Our opponent will probably be able to instantly deal with it, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. At least Bladestorm won't wipe out the entire board, and it does prevent from Bladestorm, and then getting rid of the Primus. Though Blast Charge could be a little bit annoying because they could just instantly get rid of the Primus. Well, they're collapsing our board, but it isn't going to stay collapsed for long. Oh, that actually, I think is worth... look, we could get the 2 minions on board, but we can get 2 free copies of the Primus. Priming them straight up. Though I will say, technically this does mean we're going to probably be reviving less for next turn, or this turn. Well, I mean, Pile of Bones again. We could grab Rexa instead. So that's 3, which does kind of suck, but it is what it is. Let's just slam this down. We do have other excavating cards in hand. That's why I'm not worried about it. Also, we have 2 Azurite Rats, which is absolutely insane. Oh, Inventor Boom could be annoying. That. And they'll probably attack into the 2 Primuses that exist, I'd assume. Yeah. We can still win. We can still come back. I mean, they randomly generated that card, but still. All right, let's get another Primus. We're priming for action, getting rid of the 7/7. Then what else can we get here? Let's go for runes. Grabbing Crusher, because we're gonna crush our opponent. Also prevents them from attacking, which is always great. I'm not really worried about the 3/4. I know in theory that could matter, because they could have a blast charge or whatever. But our Primus does have Reborn on it, so it shouldn't matter as much, right? Okay, Aftershocks. Okay, Ox. Okay, we do. Okay, so how do we want to do this? There has to be a way we min-max what minions we get. Death Growl would actually be a really nice top deck. Then we could, like, extend Reska's Death Rattle to it. That's not enough to get rid of our Primus, and that definitely doesn't do it either. We also want to make sure we get rid of the 0/2 first. That's actually a really good hit. Oh, Rexa number 2. Okay. We're gonna do big brain plays here. Big brain, big brain. I guess Marrow. Get rid of our Primus on board. This will get us another one. Then we can use Rat to get a second one. We'll get rid of the 8/8, healing us up to 50. We're approaching pre-nerf blood DK levels at this point. Okay, so we're going to want to snipe this. Get rid of it. Put down Reska. Eat up the 5/5. Big brain. We're completely big brain here. Let's go. Probably the best I've played in quite a while, especially with this deck. I have definitely played this deck really poorly a lot of the games that I played with this deck. Okay, they're down to 4, and I don't think they can come back from this. Any minion they put down, we could just, in theory, get additional copies through Primus. Oh, boom. Boss. Now, is there a way we could guarantee our one Primus dead? Oh, you know, that actually isn't a bad card there. Doesn't really do much. Okay, come on, something cool. Stuffy is funny. Let's grab Rexa. It's going to destroy their minion, which sucks, but it is what it is. And we're going to BM some more. We're going to freeze them out of this game, hopefully. Okay, Frost Strike. Okay. Yeah. I was looking for a direct damaging spell for Frost, but, you know, let's not play with our food and just say GG. All right, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, was this deck actually good for what I wanted to showcase with Rambunctious? Stuffy? No, it was not. However, I will say this deck does show off the power of Pile of Bones as long as you're not facing against a Highlander deck where they're going to slam down Reno Jackson. Though I will say, given the name of the deck, Rambunctious Stuffy does feel a little bit weak in this list, even though this is probably one of the better homes that you could put it in. Overall, this card is really missing 1 or 2 additional 0 to 2 cost frost spells to easily be able to use this to its full advantage, and it wouldn't take much to make this card actually pretty playable. Who knows, maybe in the mini set we'll see some additional support for the card, such as a 1 cost frost spell or something like that. But until we do, then probably don't try to make this deck work because it isn't going to work too well, though there are some fun little incidental synergies between Pile of Bones and Death Growl, allowing you to get a bunch of copies of either the Primus, Stuffy, or additional Pile of Bones to overwhelm your opponent whenever you do Excavate. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.